What is up, everybody? It's Matt Johnson. We are back with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. This is the place where you get actionable ideas, insight, and inspiration to turn your real estate career into a life of freedom. I have the Junior Grandmaster himself. We have questions. We have books. This is going to be a fun episode because we have no guest because I don't know why. Because we felt like it. We felt like doing an episode just me and Greg. And we like doing those from time to time because then we really get to let Greg off the leash. And I am also off the leash today. Yeah. And so it's going to be a fun episode. What do you say, Greg?
I think it's going to be an amazing episode. Today I started off the day. I woke up like feeling like dog shit, warmed up in a microwave, and then frozen and warmed up again. But I rallied. I came in. It's been a phenomenal day. So glad I rallied and got in here. Talked with Gene Velpe. I hired him for our team. Dude, if you guys haven't seen Gene, you've got to reach out to Gene. Swear to God, he's an evil genius when it comes to marketing. I mean, I thought I was pretty damn good at marketing ideas, right? I thought they're pretty good. Holy shit, bro. This man blew my freaking mind on what he's going to put together for me. So, but also, I had this happen to me today. I got a beautiful card, handwritten to me, and I got butterflies. There's butterflies on my card.
All right.
Which means that's special.
Who's this from?
Huh?
Who's this from?
This is Christina.
Okay.
We did the McDaniel challenge. So, dude, just such kind words. I mean, she took the time to write this to me. She says, "Thank you so much for being so generous with your time and knowledge during our McDaniel challenge coaching call. I sincerely appreciate all of your help. You're an extraordinary person that deserves all the best life has to offer." Christina. So, you know what? Christina, thank you beyond words. I keep all of my cards that I get from you guys literally right here, right next to me. I got a whole stack of them because they really mean a lot to me because, I mean, Matt and I do this just because we love you guys, and it's so awesome to hear feedback from you. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. It really
I also
made my
have a stack of stuff that I got, which is part of, we might talk about this today, but there's some books. But I would just like to point out this that came in the mail for me today from Amy Broghammer. Thank you so much. We're chatting a little bit. She had some questions.
Wait, Matt, just show the size of that book. Things like you could tie that to someone's ankles and let them sink to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Just with that.
I sat at Starbucks yesterday at a very wobbly table. I should have just brought this book because I wouldn't have needed that table. I would have just brought the book in with me, and the book would have been my table. 600, including the acknowledgments, 673 pages long. Thank you, Tim Ferriss.
Oh my God, that man he's more winded than we are. We talk a lot.
Man, I thought we talk a lot. Anyway, yeah, someone would have to transcribe at least a week of our shows to get that kind of content. At least a week to get enough Greg to get 673 pages. But anyway, we digress. Let's cover a question real quick, and then we'll dive back into some questions and some stuff that I'm learning in books and all that good stuff. So, first of all, Harmon Rai, I believe it's Rai, it's R-A-I on the last name. This is from Lead Gen Scription Objection. Says, how would you pre-qualify a sign call or an internet call on your listing? If that buyer, so he goes on to explain, if that buyer just wants to see the home and saying you don't worry about mortgage because it'll be done and you can't answer the approval questions, like would you still go ahead and book a showing with them, or would you refer them over to somewhere else? So let's start with the basics. Just Greg, how do you guys on your team take sign calls on your listings? What do you do with them?
Ring, 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 ring. Hello, McDaniel Callahan team. This is Eileen. Oh yes. Oh, you're in front of the property now? You would like to see the home now? Yes, we can give you all the information you'd like. Yes, we'll have Greg, the agent, go out there and show it to you. Okay, he's on his way. That's how you pick up a phone, Matt. It's revolutionary, transformative in business. I mean, it's something that you should try, picking up a phone.
I plan to never try that. Thank you very much. Only short, scheduled, outgoing calls from me, but thank you.
That are pre-written and pre-recorded. So don't try to
okay, if I can get to that point, hell yeah. But yes, all right. So I get it. You pick up the phone, you pre-qualify. So in other words, but you guys are getting sign calls. But let's say they're not in front of the house, right? Let's say they took down their information, or they've seen it online and they're just calling about the property. They have some questions. Is the goal to pre-qualify them? Do you try to take them through a big list of questions, or are you really just trying to see, hey, have you been to a lender? And then if they haven't, shift them over to a lender. Like, what's your strategy?
First question is, hi, mister. Hey, Matt, Julie, your three obese little wood denting babies. You need to live on the first floor because you fall through ceilings, all that stuff. Yeah,
right.
we got to pre-qualify you like that.
Right.
But we say, hey, Matt and Julie, thanks for calling. Oh, you're interested in 123 Main Street? That's fantastic. How did you hear about us? Did your agents tell you to go take a look at it, or did you find it on the MLS or a third-party site? Oh, your agent sent you. Fantastic. Who's your agent? Have them contact us. Oh, so you just found it on Redfin. Oh, okay, fantastic. Are you working with an agent? Oh, you're not. All righty. Have you been pre-approved with a lender? No, you have not. Okay, great. What I need to do before we go out and we take a look at the property, we need to have you talk to our lender. It's our policy to make sure that just out of that random chance that it might just be a little bit out of your affordability zone. We want to make sure that it's in your comfort zone, both purchase price and monthly payments. His name is Casey. He'll be giving you a call. What's your best number? Blah, 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 blah. And you go from there. Are they working with an agent? Are they pre-qualified?
You breezed past that. Yeah. All right. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. But you breeze past that. But I love the way you phrase that. Like, we just want to make sure that it's in your comfort zone, both purchase price and monthly payment. That way it's not like it's not putting the back on like, hey, let's make sure you've got the cojones, shall we say, the financial cojones to afford this particular property. Want to make sure it's not too rich for your blood there, poor boy.
Hey, you broke ass joke. You can't afford the shit can car you're driving. You want to go see $1 million house? You're an idiot. No.
Exactly.
Because what I'm doing in those comments is that I am taking and I'm showing respect to the male, so that he can maintain his manhood in front of his woman, so that she won't look at him in a lesser eye. Because if it is a little bit out of that comfort zone, I refer to it as a comfort zone. I want to make sure you're comfortable. So and if I show you something that's outside that comfort zone and it's just might not be something that would be working on a monthly basis, I don't want you to compare that to every other home that we're going to be able to see. I want to maintain everybody's integrity as the individual human being and the role that they're playing in life. Because everybody, Matt, you and I have talked about this before. Everybody's got an ego to some extent. Yeah. Why dash it against the rocks when you just met the poor dude? I mean,
right. That's right. That's right. So really, you don't want, like, castration shouldn't be the first move when you're talking to a buyer lead? I don't understand. What do you mean? Okay. All right.
Hello,
so we've got
a ton of people clip.
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
Your balls back.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we got a ton of people watching. Brinley, Walter, Sandy and Larry, Narmeen, Holly, Vince, Philip, Caitlin, Stevie, Victor, Michael, Lily, Kara. We got, good Lord, there's more than I can name. So first of all, thank you guys. Make sure to we really appreciate you guys sharing and that you guys have found us here and that you're enjoying the live Facebook broadcast. Make sure you subscribe on the back end to YouTube and iTunes. So if you miss a live broadcast, you get those videos or audios onto your phone or in your YouTube feed automatically.
And then follow me, Matt. And follow me, follow you.
Follow both of us. Yeah. So no more friend requests on Facebook. Absolutely not. If you friend request me, you will go into Facebook purgatory. Sorry. Same as Greg. So the policy is now follow us on Facebook. So anyway, and for those that know me personally, I can share the story of why that is. That is not for the air. I will explain what happened. Anyway, but do not friend request us. Follow us on Facebook. Anyway, first of all, let's talk a little bit before we get into this other question, which I'm chuckling just reading the question because I can anticipate your answer to this, Greg. Before we get into that, guys, go check out rockstarprospecting.com. We are in between classes right now. We just finished session 4 of the initial run on Monday. That was great. We went over the prospecting tracking sheet and exactly how to know how much you're worth in the prospecting seat down to the minute, right?
Yeah.
How to track your numbers, all that good stuff. We have our next class starting on Monday, guys. So literally you've got like 5 days left to sign up. This is where Greg takes you deep into how to essentially replicate the engine of his entire business, which is calling into the neighborhoods that you want to work in, delivering good news about a listing that has recently sold or gone pending, usually for over list price, and then using that good news as leverage to then find seller and buyer leads that you can capitalize on quickly, get commissions into the pipeline, get some paychecks, get some clients, and then leverage them for referrals. So that's you're going to take them deep into the system. It's way more than we can go into on the podcast, and it's way more training. It's interactive. You're on the call with us. You are not sitting back and watching like the podcast. You are in the live video with us, and you are interacting, role-playing with Greg, both as the consumer and as the agent delivering the script, so you know exactly how to do this. So anyway, just wanted to point that out real quick. Anything you want to say on that, Greg, before I throw the question at you?
Dude, just sign the fuck up and have some fun and hang out with us.
Yes.
All said, done. We have fun.
All right. So Judy Bibbing says, how do you fire a seller that was a referral? I want to be classy, but let them know that I don't need to be micromanaged and I don't need a property manager. So Greg, what say you?
Oh, I have so many things flying around in my head that I want to say. But in all actuality, what you'd really want to do, guys, is that you're going to want to, you have to handle them sensitively. As you well know, it was a referral, which means your friend put their neck out on the line for you. So in the end, something like this could be used. Hey, Matt, Julie, you're three obese little babies. At this point, we've had the pleasure of working together. In respect to our past conversations, it appears that the way that you need an agent and the way that I operate my business are not seen eye to eye at the moment. What I can do for you is I have a couple of really good agents that I feel work just like you, and they suck. And I'll be happy to refer you over to the biggest dickhead I know. Okay, smooches. All right,
smooches, toodles. Yeah, all right. And the strategy being that you would then refer them to an agent that you hate.
Yeah, you disdain. And my team, I set out a name, and Matt, we will not say the name of an agent that I have absolute disdain for, and I loathe the existence of this human being. And I said the name, and both my team manager, Eileen, and she's like, so they can do better than you? And I'm like, gosh, damn it. I hate it when she's right, Matt. And so, yeah, I got yelled at.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, I have to give a shout out, William Hyder and Debbie Neese, guys. So shout out to you guys. Thank you for watching the show. But that's I would take the same approach. And I've had people
refer you clients.
I've had people refer me clients. I've had people refer me potential clients that their podcasting needs, shall we say, were not in alignment. They just weren't aligned. There's not aligned.
Like the guy wanted to start a porn site, or he wanted to do the pickup artist thing. Or the
pickup artist one was good. Yes, I did. I did get referred to a guy who he wanted to start a podcast about. I think it was seduction materials or something like that. It was how to pick up girls essentially, and he looked like he needed to take his own course. Let's put it that way. So no, I did not take that client. But I do run into that. And Chris Lockhead gave me a very nice compliment. Chris was on the show last week. So he's the co-host of Legends and Losers, which I do produce, but he recommended me to a friend of his in the business that was looking for more like coaching on podcasting, which I do not offer. Like what he wanted to do did not fit into what I offer. And I had to politely decline because it does not fit with what I offer. And Chris was really impressed because I don't go out of my way just to collect every bit of, potential client or lead or someone that wants to throw money at me. I don't jump like a dancing monkey for that.
Well, for everything else you do, but that one you don't.
Okay.
I don't know. I just had to throw something in.
But yes. So I think it's very, very important for, if you're a professional, get a sense of who you want to work with, what the system is that you're going to put them through, and then stick with that. And then it's really just about, what does somebody say? Build the best hammer you can, and then spend all your time looking for nails.
Mm-hmm. I love that one. And let's talk about turning hammers and nails. Christina just put a question up into the group there, and I really like that one. And then Matt, we'll go into William's question next. But Christina, you asked about how do you handle the negative voice in your head about calling your sphere of influence? Great question. A lot of people have an issue with this because it's easier to be told no by someone you don't know than the people that you've already worked with. So you build yourself up and you tell yourself, oh my God, they hate me, they don't like me, this is they're going to hang up on me, they're never going to call me back, which is utter bullshit. Because here's why. If you didn't completely foobar the deal, they actually like you. And they will call you back. I'm poster child of foobarring most of the things that I talk about doing, okay? You know what? I had a client of mine, William and Mary Wong. They were one of my first clients. And when we helped them buy their house in Alamo, which they promptly tore down and rebuilt, I didn't follow up. For how long, you ask? 13 years. And I did a contest on Facebook. If you can tell me exactly where I stand, I'll give you a $50 gift card. And Mary won. And so she came in with her 3 kids. I remember holding their baby, she gave birth the day before or day after we closed. And now I'm looking at this 13-year-old kid standing in front of me. And I mean, thank God she still liked me, and she's talking about maybe selling. But she's like, Greg, it's so good to see you. And I'm like, yeah, me too. Holy shit. I almost bit the dust hard on that one by not following up. So what I'm trying to get across is this. If I hadn't followed up, because I didn't follow with her for 13 years, I would have had a perfectly good reason not to call them. But when I saw them, it was so nice to hear them, reconnect. So just envision yourself reconnecting with people. Don't, as we've said before, don't booty call your database. Go ask them out for a cup of coffee. Go put 4 or 5 people together that you know what they do for a living, and maybe they can network together to better their businesses, and you're just a facilitator. Just go have fun and be a human being and enjoy being around other human beings, and don't talk about real estate. Talk about their business, how you can grow their lives and what value you can bring to them. They will then in turn bring it back to you with the law of reciprocity. So take one person, Christina, and talk and call 5 people in your sphere of influence before next Wednesday. Then I want you to come and report back and tell me what happened. I will almost guarantee you that you won't have one good conversation. You'll probably have 5 great conversations. And if you ask them that you have for a referral or to keep you top of mind, they would love to. I bet you anything this would happen. Matt, I don't think I've ever told you this. I had this girl in one of my training classes at Rockcliffe. It was one of the first years, like 2 or 3 years ago. And she was just pissing me off because she just wasn't doing anything and fighting me on everything I was talking about. And it was about referrals, working your sphere of influence, right? I said, hey, look, if you don't go and call 3 people in your sphere of influence before the next class, just don't bother showing them up. You're driving me nuts. Because I was really kind of pissed. Yeah. So she tried to cheat on me, Matt. The daringness, the cheating on me. Ooh, okay. You know what happens. You get the nothing.
You get a frowny face on your home.
Frowny cat.
Yeah. Okay.
But so what she did is she went and she called her uncle in her sphere of influence just to get that 3rd one knocked out, right? Hey, Unc, what's up, niece? How are you? Blah blah blah. Yakety schmacky. What's new? I'm in real estate. No kidding. I was gonna write an offer on a property. Could you write it up for me?
Okay.
$2 million deal.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and she sheepishly explained that to me in the next class, and I just walked right up to her. I'm like, so you're going to do more calls to your sphere? She's like, yeah. I'm like, no shit, Sherlock.
Yeah. So everyone that I've talked to that's good at communicating with their database, everyone says the same thing. Agents psych themselves out way too much. Mm-hmm. It's not a big deal. I mean, I know we do psych ourselves out because we feel like we can't just pick up the phone and go, hey, what's going on? Just checking in with you to see how you are. You really don't need any other script than that. I mean, I know of a team in Florida where 65-70% of their business comes from referrals, and that's team, not just one guy. That's their husband and wife team and multiple other agents. And that's what he does for 2 hours a day. That's his only contribution to the team other than leadership. That's his only contribution in the form of lead generation, is just to keep in touch for a couple hours a day with his database by just picking up the phone and just saying, hey, what's new? What's going on in your life right now? I was just thinking about you and wanted to give you a call.
Yeah,
and that produces deals, and then they hand those deals down to the agents on their team. So I would like to cover this. William Hyder says, let me hear your expired call script role play between Johnson and Greg. As much as we'd love to, Greg, you don't do expireds. If I was going to role play, I wouldn't give anyone my old expired script from back in the day, because that was 07. And Aaron Wittenstein's expired script is way better than anything I ever said.
Yeah.
So you should go check out what Aaron has to say about expired listings. He is the man on that. That goes back to, we haven't talked about this yet, but in this book, all I want to know is where I'm going to die, so I'll never go there. A study in simplicity and uncommon common sense. It's like a little book of wisdom from
I like this.
Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger.
That's
one
awesome.
of the things they said is core competency, right? Never get outside of your circle of competence. This is why Buffett doesn't invest in startups, and they don't invest in tech, because they don't understand it. It's not their wheelhouse.
Hold on 1 second. We're gonna back this thing up real quick. I got this sheet off the wall here, and for you guys that are looking for it, well, it sounds easy, but how in the hell do I go and what do I say to people? Here are a couple of quick things that you can call or just pop by or
for
put in the email.
referrals for your
For referrals or just touch and base.
Influence? Okay.
You can say, these are broken down per one. I have something for you. Call to just say, hi, thought you would like to know about blank. Wanted to make sure you receive the information to the blank. Just checking in to see if you have changed directions. Just wanted to update you on our listings. Did you see the listing down the street? Haven't seen you in a long time. How's the house? Just haven't seen you for a while. Drove past your house the other day. Popped in my mind. Wanted to say hello. Let's see here. Just called to say thanks. Great job. It just keeps going and going and going and going. It's called being a human, guys. It is very, very easy, and I want you guys to just understand. Stop over fucking thinking it. For God's sake, just go have fun. End of story. Drop mic.
All right. Goodness, we've got a lot of comments. What's up, St. Greg? Well, first of all, that's just not true.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Always ask for a referral in every call at the end of the call or the interaction. Yes, you definitely can if it's organic. You have a good relationship with the people. Otherwise, you can always just say, what is that? The Tim Templeton script from Referral of a Lifetime, which is, I lost it just as I was saying that. The script was,
that's a brain fart.
It was something like that. But it wasn't an ask. It was just a reminder that, hey, if you run across anybody that's looking to buy or sell, I hope you'll think of me.
Oh, that's the Simon Sinek.
Yeah, kind of.
I know you don't buy and sell every day, but next time you do, please remember me.
Yeah. Yep. Or William says, or who do you know? That's another great one. Who do you know that I should know?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's see.
Colorado Springs, what up? I love it when you guys shout out where you're coming from. I love hearing where how much, because it's so awesome that people all over the world listen and watch this.
Yeah, actually, I would like to know, guys. We need to do that more often, guys. So put in the comments where you are, where you're calling from. There's actually a question here on the lead gen group from a guy in Australia. So the expired market works differently down there, and he had a question about door knocking, but I think the comments that he was getting is pretty right on, which is that showing up at someone's doorstep, the script is pretty much the same as when you call them on the phone, except that you're not quite coming off as so annoying when you're showing up at an expired store versus calling them, because they get all kinds of calls. Nobody has the balls to go out there. You've talked about Darren Hardy showing up with a sign. Sold sign. Yeah.
Here, you're going to need this when you work with me. Big brass balls. That is some awesome stuff right there. So we got PA, South Carolina, Florida, Indianapolis, or Indiana, I might say. Who else? Did I miss some? I think I missed some. So keep them coming, guys. We love doing this stuff. We love it. Anyways, Matt, let's go into the book so we can go over these topics. I think they're awesome, and I really think, guys, take out a pen. It's a prehistoric writing device. Let me show you guys, because I know we're in a digital age. Ooh, oh my God. You must have been an archaeologist in your pre-life.
I'm so old. I might as well have been. I don't need to be an archaeologist because I still have all the original things and they're in my possession.
The rotary phones.
Exactly. Books, actual notebooks, with actual paper. Yeah, see that? All right. Anyway, so again, this is a book called "All I Want to Know Is Where I'm Going to Die, So I'll Never Go There," which is a great phrase. A study in simplicity and uncommon common sense. So I picked this up at the Berkshire Hathaway shareholders meeting last year. Jeff Cohn is doing another workshop that coincides with the shareholder meeting this year. So guys, if you want to check that out, go to eliterealestatesystems.com. You can check out how to get in on that workshop and then go to the shareholders meeting the next day. But I picked up the book last year and I've been going back through it again, because there's just some really amazing stuff. But I wanted to point out a few things, which is filters, right? Filters and rules. So
something I don't have.
Something that, well, you don't have a filter for your language, but
yes.
These would be mental filters, decision-making filters, the ability to quickly eliminate bad decisions so that you're really only choosing between good decisions and great decisions, right? So the whole Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger approach is, hey, let's just get the bad stuff out of the way. Let's not make silly mistakes. Let's not be a fool. Let's get all those bad decisions. Let's get them pre-qualified and out of the way as quickly as possible so that we're only choosing between good and great, which is kind of similar to, Greg, you talked about the go for no script, right? Where you're asking a question that's designed in a way to get them to say no as quickly as possible. That way you're disqualifying the people and you're not wasting time building up to a question that you're going to get a no to anyway, which is, are you interested in selling real estate right now, buying or selling? Right. So you're trying to get that no right away. You just want to disqualify as many people as possible. Well, we can do the same thing when we make decisions, right? So we have a bunch of information, we have a bunch of options, but there's a lot we can do to eliminate bad options quickly. So here's a few of these. So number one is circle of competence. And we touched on it briefly about you and expired listings, right? There's not a lot of expired listings in your market. You are not the master. So you don't even worry about it. You don't subscribe to a service that sends them to you. You don't maybe there'll be one call a day.
That's kind of a lie. I do subscribe to a service.
Do you pay attention to them when they come across?
Of course not, because they go to my ISA, Matt. They go to my his name Jonathan, the young guy up at Talon, prospecting. Like right now, he just sent me literally right before the show 1, 2, 3 leads, for appointments being set for us to go out and work with them, and majority of them are expired. So I pay for it. I just don't call them.
Right. So, and why is that? Because it's not in your circle of competence.
Don't know what I'm doing.
Yes.
I'd be like a dog that caught the car. I'd be like, what the fuck do I do with the car now?
I'm picturing a terrier with his mouth on a metal bumper going, well, all right. Yeah. All right. So stay within your circle of competence. So what's interesting about Buffett and those guys is they don't invest in anything that they don't intimately know and understand, right? And so I think there's there's kind of a culture of pride in business, and there's a measure of truth to it, which is, hey, just because something is hard to learn doesn't mean you shouldn't apply yourself and try to learn it. But the flip side of that is that once you do have a really good skill set in a certain area, like real estate business is not going to drastically change in the next 2 or maybe even 5 years. As long as you have good relationships with people, it really is best to kind of maximize and work those relationships. Like you don't have to have 5 different forms of lead generation to have a pretty decent profitable real estate business, right?
No, not at all.
No. So the point of that being, just look at everybody gets pitched all the time, Greg. I'm sure you get calls, you get emails, you get texts. Everybody's trying to sell us all something, right? So when you look at that and somebody says, hey, this can get you, a certain of it, if you just pay for this, or if you just, move to this kind of lead generation, it can get you X, Y, and Z. Well, they're going to promise you the moon, right? They're going to promise you new clients. Yes, and they do. The question is, can you make it work? Is it in that circle of competence, right? Some people are better at cold calls. Some people are better at warm calls to their database. So if you're going to do some form of lead generation, you got to figure out whether it matches up with your personality, whether it matches up with your market, and whether it matches up with your experience level. There's some things to consider. So, Greg, you are very good at staying in your circle of competence.
Yeah, but also, maybe you're just not good at it. Maybe that's just not your personality. And you need to, recognize the fact to go partner with someone that is really good at the outbound stuff in the nurturing, because they can throw it back into the back office where you can nurture it and hang out with it and cuddle with it and then take it to fruition, while they can go out hard charging and bringing the business in. So I talked to Mike last night on my McDaniel challenge. He does the same thing, dude. He's a hard charger, high D, high I. I think his D almost ate all of his I, but he was a super cool dude, and we had a great talk. But he has a business partner that is epically good at doing exactly that, just going out and being able to nurture, and he throws it back to her. He kills it, she cooks and cleans it. So that's another part about this guy. So if you're sitting there, you're like, I'm not good at any of them, it's okay, go find someone who is. That's totally fine. Yeah.
Well, let me address something real quick. William Hyder says, master the cold call and you will make millions. That's true. Can I just say that the person that's made millions off of cold calls isn't the agent, it's Mike Ferry. That's who's made millions off of cold calls.
And Mojo selling sales. They've made millions off of cold calls.
Here's the dirty little secret, guys. The people that build their entire real estate business off of cold calls, you can do the exact, the structure, the 3 hours in the morning, then the follow-up and and then the appointments in the afternoon, and that's great. You will max out at somewhere between 150 and maybe 350,000. That's the bottom line. That's where Aaron Wittenstein is at right now, guys. So if you're familiar with Aaron from the Lead Gen Scription Objections group, that's where he's at in terms of personal income. And you know what he's doing? He's not making more cold calls. He hired an operations manager. He hired an ISA group that he's training to make more phone calls on his behalf. He's leveraging and getting things done through other people. That's where the real millions is. It's not now the skill set of being able to call, pick up the phone, overcome your fear, and call someone that you don't know and talk to them and persuade them into doing something. Super, super valuable, and it will always come in handy for the rest of your business career. And yes, you absolutely should work on that. But always know that the way to make millions is by getting leverage and getting things done through other people, not by maxing out your own personal productivity.
Well, it's something interesting. Vaughn posted here that he did 2 Mojo dialers at 3 lines. He did 1,059 dials, made 81 contacts in 2 hours. That's leverage. I mean, that goes back to
Leveraging your skills, not leverage through other people.
When you're in the beginning and you might not have the funds to pay for anyone else, but you can leverage your own time. That's very well done, Vaughn. Knock it out of the park, player. That's sick work.
Yeah. We talk about this on the podcast with Greg Harrelson before too, the Level Up podcast, just the difference between leveraging your skills and leveraging people. Right. Leveraging your skills gets you from square one to successful agent. But if you want to transition from successful agent to something more, if you want to be a business owner, if you want to be an entrepreneur, it has to shift from leveraging your own skills and leveraging yourself to leveraging other people. And that's a completely different skill set that you have to start from ground zero and build up that skill set, right?
So I was actually talking with Gene, and he and I were working. Playster, by the way, is allowed me into a very exclusive group called 30 and 30, where I brought Gene in to help me do the social media side. They're going to help me work their site and work their stuff on the back end there to get 30 leads in 30 days or even faster using their stuff. And Gene and I were talking to Andrew, who's an associate with Playster. He said that his top client, she did 400. Matt, check this out. This will blow. You want to talk about leveraging people? She did like almost 500 deals last year, right? She's on track to do 5,000 deals this year by leveraging people and processes and programs. It's unreal.
That's more than Danny Morell is doing with multiple offices and hundreds of agents in California. So what's her deal?
Leveraging different systems, different technologies. She's putting the right people in the right seats on the bus. She's, everyone is hard charging. Everyone believes in what she's saying. And dude, if she even gets if she gets 2,000 deals, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's about what Greg Harrelson's at in Myrtle Beach.
God, that's retarded.
It's a lot. Yeah,
and that's leverage, guys. That's true leverage.
Yeah,
and 500 deals is leverage. Let's be honest.
And William Hyder asks, what's the main source of your leads? And Greg, for you, if you want to speak to this, that is Mojo and Circle Prospecting, which is what Rockstar Prospecting, the course, is all about. I mean, that is your engine. Yeah,
it is my engine right now. With Gene's help, like I said, he's an evil genius. For all you guys don't know who I'm talking about, Gene Velpe. I hired him onto my digital marketer side, and it's gonna be just a avalanche of leads, the way he's setting it up. I mean, it's just, I didn't know that it could be done this way. So it might shift in 6-7 months, Matt. It might be, it's 50-50. It might be more online, and then we nurture them through, follow up and with, seize the market or whatever system we're going to be using at that time. But yeah, right now, 100%, yeah, it's cold calls for me.
Chat robots to warm up your leads.
Yes.
Chat with nobody. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm very much looking forward to that day.
Oh my God. Actually, funny you actually mentioned that, because I was just reading about how to create a chat robot on my Facebook Messenger.
That's correct.
Today. I have the article.
So beware. At some point in the very near future, you'll think that you're messaging with Greg and he's dispensing real estate advice. It's actually his chat bot, and Greg's having a beer on the couch.
Oh my God. Yeah. Give me another beer, bot.
That's right.
No.
Exactly. All right. So Holly Smith has a good comment. She says lots of people aren't using landlines anymore, and it's a possibility that you can be fined $16,000 if a cell is called and you're reported. That's true if it's a dialer call. It is not if it's a finger dial, even if it's electronic. If you are literally having to tap to make a call, then you are off the hook for that. But she does make a good point. It's going to get harder for cold calls in the future. That is 100% true. So everything is moving towards this. Starting with marketing, right, to generate the lead online somehow by putting ads in front of people on Facebook and Instagram, right, YouTube. You get them into your world. They come in by permission, off of social media. They express interest, and then from there, it's your responsibility to nurture them, right? So this is what the big dogs are doing. What's going to happen, guys, if you're not forming real relationships with buyers and sellers now, what's going to happen in the next big market correction is the big players in your city that already have all these people in their database, they already have the systems to keep in touch with them better than you do. Potentially, if you're not picking up the phone, right? They already have they're going to have the chat bots, they're going to have the automated emails, they're going to have the automated texts for as long as that's still a thing that's legal. But they're going to have all those systems to keep in touch with people. The average agent, the average person that listens to our show is in danger of being like swept out of the business when the next correction comes. And you're going to give your market share to the Greg Harrelsons of the world, the guys that have teams, that have systems that are better at keeping in touch with people than you are. But if you have the relationships and you're keeping in touch with people in an authentic way, you can prevent all that from happening, and you can actually steal market share when the market goes down, because there's a lot of other agents that will not make it, sadly. Mostly agents that don't listen to our show, just saying. But the people that listen to our show they will be in the ark when the flood comes, and they will be safely ensconced in our loving embrace, and they will have business to carry them through.
So it will not be Noah's Ark. It will be REU Ark, Real Estate Uncensored Ark.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah. Whatever. Right. Wait a minute, Cassie. What are you saying? Pick me. What am I missing? Something here in the feeds
Casey,
here?
Yeah. Do we miss a question from Casey or something?
Casey, pick you.
Yes. Casey says, how do you keep track of buyers? That is the question that we missed. So, how do you keep track of buyers, Greg? I know you're installing. Oh God.
Very effectively. Very effectively. Yes.
Oh.
I know it hurts me
My
too.
heart hurt. Oh, it just gave me heartburn.
It's okay. We have pills for that. How do I keep track of it? I'll show you. But with her,
Eileen.
Yeah, the steel trap. But we put everything into Top Producer right now. We're going to be switching over to something new, you guys. We're looking at Seize the Market. We're looking at continue looking at Firepoint if they've corrected some of their stuff. But I mean, we got to do something. Eileen is pregnant with twins. I mean, she's going to have her hands full, literally. And so we need to find something. But tracking, if there's another system that you can buy right now it's like a light CRM. It's called Contactually. Contactually is a system where you can put in people, and they call them buckets, which are just lists of anything that you want, and then they will give you a reminder of 5, 10, or 15 people every single day from whatever list you want to pick from to follow up and say hi to. They have templated emails. They have all kinds of stuff. So again, go take a look at Contactually. That would help you definitely follow up with buyers and make sure that they're staying top of mind and that you're able to be upfront with them. You can also create little custom lists on Facebook and put them all into a custom list, so that when you're in the supermarket or the gas station or the bank and you're sitting there and you're scrolling through your phone or checking email, you can go to that custom list on your phone and see what they're doing on their social media and interact with them real time. You can do that with past clients, current clients, sellers, buyers, all real estate, doesn't matter. You can put them in there and be relevant. Don't post about real estate, guys. Please just post about being a human being. So if Matt and Julie, the 3 obese babies, went on a diabetic, European trip, and it was all bicycles because we need to lose weight. I saw them, eating the bike with their rear end. I'd say, looks like you guys are losing weight. Congratulations.
All right.
It's a bike sandwich for their butt.
Yeah. Must have a vitamin deficiency. They're eating those bikes. All right, Christian Wynn says
deficiency.
Realty Juggler is a great beginner CRM. Then you can move up. That is true. I've been on the back end of Realty Juggler. Good. I think it's $99 a year or something ridiculous like that. So there's not even an ongoing monthly cost for that. So yes, those are all good options. As with any CRM, it really just comes down to whether you'll use it. There's non-real estate CRMs like HubSpot, which has a free version. There is HighRise, which is free or extremely low cost. That's from the makers of Basecamp. So there's some really good options. I mean, really all a CRM has to do is just a place to store names and contact information and set yourself reminders on when to get a hold of them. It could be as simple as your Google Calendar. We've talked about that a lot before.
That's what I do. I put all of my contacts, all my leads that you guys see me get from doing the calls, they go into my Google Calendar so that I know when to follow up with them. And if I don't get them, I move them up a day or a week or something. I keep moving them forward in that calendar. It works really well for just the way that I operate. Eileen and I were laughing the other day because I'm like, yeah, Eileen, gosh, we should probably change away from top producer because, I just don't like the system. She's like, Greg, when's the last time you went into it? And I'm like, 2015?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, that's the point.
Exactly. I have an idea. I have a brilliant idea for you, Greg, on how you can track your leads.
Oh boy,
this is going to be great.
Oh,
all right,
boy.
those bookshelves at IKEA that they're essentially just cubes. They just sit up against the wall, and there's like 9 slots in there. This is great because there's like one for each day of the week, and all you do is just put your Hobbit pad in that slot. And when you show up to that day, you go to the Tuesday cube and you pull out your Hobbit pad for that day, and then there's all your leads written down on a legal pad. Great. I have solved the CRM issue for Greg. Thank you very much and good night. I'm going to drop my mic and go home.
That's really funny because that actually might work.
I know.
Like, it's like the vitamins, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's like just open the top, pull it out.
It's a vitamin pill box for lead management. All right. So let's talk about one more filter, which is the opportunity cost filter. And the whole idea of this is that decisions in life are all about opportunity costs, right? So it's a filter to help you use your resources, your time, money, talent, energy, and attention in the best possible way, how to decide, choose, or behave. So what does opportunity cost mean, right? Opportunity cost is the difference between, it's like Hank Aving said, if you say yes to this, what am I saying no to? If I say yes to do this form of lead generation, what am I saying no to, right? Now, that's a very good question to ask because it forces yourself to look at the alternatives, right? So if I decide to do this, if I decide to communicate with my database, well, what am I giving up? Well, you're giving up maybe some time you could have spent calling expireds or other forms of cold calls. If I go and I spend money on some form of lead generation, what am I saying no to? Well, you're probably saying no to calling your database more, taking them out to coffee, sending them handwritten cards because you're not going to have the time and you're not going to want to spend the money on stamps. They're very expensive these days. They're like
36 cents.
They're like 59 cents or $2 or somewhere in there. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know. All I heard is they went up again. I don't even pay attention. I only buy lifetime stamps. But anyway, point being, whatever decision you're looking to make, whether it's choosing a form of lead generation, whether it's choosing like a certain way of marketing your business, a certain way of growing your business, look at the opportunity cost, which is if I say yes to this, what am I saying no to? Or in Greg's case, if I say yes to everything, where am I going to put all of my focus, and where am I really just saying yes to doing a poor job at 5 different things when I really should just be focusing on doing an amazing job at one thing? Dude, right? If there's one thing I wish you were better at, it's just saying yes to a couple of things that you're really, really good at and not worrying about all the other stuff.
Oh, shush. Dude, I swear to God, my team's like cockroaches. The camera comes on and they just scatter. I had a full office. I'm like, what the shit just happened? They're all gone.
They shoulder rolled out your door.
Oh, yeah, they definitely did. But no, so some of the things, I mean, to defend my honor, Johnson, I don't poorly do 5 fucking things, all right? What I do is what I do. So, yeah, I do my lead generation, and I fucking suck at follow-up, but that's why I have Eileen, so she does a lot of the follow-up for me. I'm really good at appointments, so I do what I'm good at. I don't do what I'm really bad at. The follow-up is automated, and I hire out people to do things I'm not good at. I could learn social media. I could become an expert at social media, but I could hire Gene for like a max of like $400 a month, and he would just destroy my marketplace in a short amount of time. But that's the cost basis. What am I giving up? So if I become a master of social media, how many buyers am I not working with? How many sellers am I not going out and talking to? So that's why I make a conscious choice to hire people. I hired talent prospecting to do some of my outbound, expired calls. I hired Gene Velpe to do my social media. And then I do my calls and I do my follow-up. I work with my team to work through the database. So fuck you. I don't do 5 bad things, jackass.
You have the impulse.
I have the impulse to come through this phone and just start.
Aaron Wittenstein, what up? What is
Baldy.
going on? Yeah, Baldy. The expired master himself.
It is.
Speaking of someone that's really good at one thing and knows exactly where their circle of competence is, that would be Aaron.
Yeah, and go watch. Aaron did a great show today with his coach, which I watched. It was Aaron, dude, knuckles. Dude, you did a great job. Very solid information about how to zero in on your why, your goals, your big why. I mean, that was just good stuff, man. You guys really did a good job today. So I just want to say that to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Andy is good people. Aaron is good people. Guys, if you're not already following them, go onto Facebook, connect with them, and make sure to join the lead gen scripts and objections group on Facebook. That is Aaron's group. It is not our group. We are just a part of it, active members of it as well. And you should be too. So Greg, Holly, really good question from Holly.
I was just going to talk about that one.
Thank you. Thank you to pipe down and not bring questions. That is my job. Stay in your lane, Greg. Stay in your circle of competence.
Is this one of the things that I'm not good at, Matt? Are you saying I can't read? Wait, are you calling me dyslexic?
I think I am. Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't call her Lahi.
Well, shut up.
Anyway, I have to make fun of you for dyslexia. It makes me a bad person, though. All right. She says, Greg, what time are you doing outbound calls tonight? Well, it sounds like a date invitation, but yeah, go ahead, Greg.
Fucking guy.
But what time do you generally do calls?
I do my calls starting around 4:30. Give or take. Or I go from 4:30 to like 5:35 or 5:45, somewhere in there, because I have the hard stop for the McDaniel Challenge at 6. Yeah. But yeah, that's when I do the calls. And the reason why, so I was doing some calls earlier today. I found this, and so is Talon, and so was Midori, who would be here, but she scattered when the camera came on. And the middle of the day is like, it's the apocalypse, man. Everyone's like Walking Dead. Either they're trying to kill you, or they're just walking right past you because they have no interest in you. But in the mornings, like 9 to 10:30, pretty decent. In the afternoons and evenings, from about 4:30 till about 6, give or take, is really been really good. I don't call past 6 because I want to give people dinner time. I don't want to be horning in on their family time, or if they're a long commute and they're angry. Just it's like walking for a landmine. You never know when you're gonna step on one and blow your leg off. It just sucks.
Yeah.
So that's my timing. So give it a run. Frank Klevitz, what up, dude?
Frank, of course he would put this question. How does an agent get more listings from their database? I wonder how they could do that.
I don't know, Matt.
Could it be possibly that they should send them a helpful and useful communication a couple of times a month, and through, I would think, some form of rich media content like video, and then they should pay attention to who is opening and clicking to watch the video that they send them, and then you should call them and possibly follow up with them, as I think it would be great for those people to hear from you.
But Matt,
that to me sounds very logical.
But Matt,
very, very cool.
Who do we call? What company would do that for us?
I believe it's called viral marketing. Yeah.
Yeah, viral.
Which Greg is a longtime customer, a longtime client. For anybody that doesn't know, that's how me and Greg met. He was he was assigned to me. He was thrown down to me, and he's like, "Who's this Matt dude?" And it was.
You know that I actually asked that question. I asked the question. I'm like, yeah, I was whoever's onboarding me. I'm like, so what's up with this Matt dude? Is he cool? I mean, he's not a douche, is he?
They're like, no, he's good. He's good. Let's put it that way.
And so they're like, no, he's cool. I'm like, all right, I'll trust you. And then Matt and I got on. I was like, peas and carrots, man. I was like, I think we just became best friends. How much trouble can we get in 1 hour a week?
Well, too much. Yeah, exactly. Way too much trouble. It was the highlight of my week to shoot video with Greg. So anyway,
God, that was fun.
So you can use viral marketing for that. You can use I got a very nice video today from Eric Brown, which we've had on the show before through BombBomb. It looked like a personal invitation, and it was like he was doing like a mixer. He did a really great job of putting together just a little video that invited people, and then he just personalized the message in there, and it just had my name in it, and it made it look like it was a very personal message to me, even though I'm sure it was sent to a segment of his database that's here in the area. And Greg, you've talked about a little bit about doing events before. I know you've gotten away from it a little bit, but you probably should I know you want to get back to it. But.
We are back on track. We are doing our Cinco de Mayo party on May 5th. It's a Saturday, right, Eileen, this year? It's a Friday this year. And we are doing kegs of beer, margarita machines. We're bringing in catered food. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's not a party. It's an event, because you can just kind of breeze through. It's not a sit down or anything off. You can come and steal a burrito or have a margarita with us. Cool. If you want to stay there and get shit faced, cool. We'll call an Uber for you. Which is really nice to say I can call an Uber for you. Now, it used to be like, we're going to call you a yellow cab. Yellow cab's like, oh, we don't service your area. We're like, oh, fuck. Now we have drunk people driving, coming from our house. I don't know why I sound like Bill Clinton right there.
I don't know.
But no, so we're doing the Cinco de Mayo part. I think we're going to be looking into. We haven't really put it on the books and planning yet, but we might do a Oktoberfest in the last 2 weeks of September and the first 2 weeks of October. I talked with the local bar last year about it. We just never moved forward on it, but they agreed to it last year, so might do something like that this year as well. Just kind of think out of the box, fun things with your events. But Matt, that's a bonus video that we did talking about everything events. The 3 different types you should do, when you should do them, what type, how you should throw them, all kinds of stuff. So go.
Yes, that is a bonus on our farming product, which is still available. So if you go to our website, McDanielRealEstateSystems.com, there's a link there for the farming product. That video where Greg goes into depth on that is one of the bonus videos. But anyway, there was a good question here that I wanted to, as we start to close out here, I wanted to make sure that we covered because it talks about circle prospecting. And so it's Aaron Perlberg says, yesterday it took me 284 calls to make 30 contacts. I'm trying to gauge the averages. What are your daily numbers? Greg, it sounds about right to me. I mean, that's a little over 10%.
Yes, 10.5%.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty damn decent. We'll go anywhere from 10 to 15% connectivity, give or take, on a daily basis.
Right.
So you're in the wheelhouse, man. You definitely are. So don't be disheartened. And I do believe, going back to the fact that is cold calling going to change or go away at some point? Yes. At some point it's going to be a moot point, to do it. But right now it still is an effective way of getting in front of people. So don't give up just because you're not getting huge numbers, or your conversion rates aren't through the roof. It just takes time. Like this. I know we talk about it a lot, guys, but the rockstar prospecting, Matt and I are talking about, you get to learn the differences in tonality, and that is some of the biggest things that we've heard people not do correctly, and then they don't get the results. So if you don't have the money to go through our course, here's a tip. 1, go borrow money from your mom. 2, go and record yourself on this, okay? Go do a private recording of video and just listen to your tonality, listen to and watch what you look like, because you're going to represent in your voice what your body language is saying, through the phone. Go do that until you become happy, like you enjoy what you sound like. Yes, you're going to feel like you sound like crap and everything else. Get over it. But just listen to the tonality. That will be one of the biggest helpful tips I could give for someone who just can't afford it. Just do that one tip, and that will help benefit your cold calls.
Yeah, that and putting up a little. Have you ever put a mirror up behind, so you're looking at yourself while you make cold calls? You ever tried that?
I've broken all the mirrors in my house. I can't stand my face.
Oh, okay.
I actually haven't. I actually haven't.
It's interesting, right? Because if you're not aware of it, so one of the things that I noticed when we were doing the Rockstar prospecting training with people is when they would role play, they didn't realize it, but they were like, "Hi, this is Matt. My name is John. I'm a local realtor," and they didn't realize that their entire face conveyed that they were not happy to be there. It's very hard to convey any sort of tone over the phone, like a happy tone. If you're not if it doesn't come across where you're smiling with your eyes, it's probably not coming across on the phone either.
No, and it's 38% of your communication, guys. We've talked about this 1,000 times. 7% is your verbiage, 38% is your tonality, 55% is going to be your body language. Matt does a stand-up desk. I couldn't do a stand-up desk. My feet would kill me. Jumpy desk, a bouncy desk for the young one. Oh, look at him, so happy. But I mean, see, Matt's his body language has changed. They say a lot of the times, if you're standing up, you're going to be forced to be, more. You're not going to be like, "What's up, dude? Yeah, yeah. You think about selling your home? No, okay, bye. Yeah, okay,
yeah. I actually strategically use the stand-up desk for the things where I need to be high energy, like for the shows, podcasts and stuff like that. And then if I have a sales call or a consultation, when somebody is asking me questions and thinking about using my service, I'm almost always on the couch reclining, because I don't want to have that I don't want to be overpowering nervous energy guy, on the show. I want to be relaxed, questions based, kind of consultative, you know what I'm saying? So I use stuff like that just to put myself physically in the right frame so that it comes across in my language and my tone, right?
Right.
So little tricks you can play with yourself like that. Holly says, sit on a yoga ball. Yeah, great. If you're sitting down doing prospecting calls, that is kind of a fun thing to do. Vaughn says stand-up cold calls are ideal from my experience. I bought a stand-up desk for this reason. Absolutely. If you look at the cold calling masters like, Greg Harrelson and Jeff Quinton, guys like that have been, dialing for dollars since the 80s. Yeah, it's all about the stand-up desk. Definitely a very, very good thing to have.
Michael was asking, where'd that question go that Michael was asking?
I may have missed it. I don't see it now.
Damn it, I missed it too. Michael, put the question back in.
All right. So anyway, guys, go check out rockstarprospecting.com. It's got all the details. The class starts on Monday. It is $297 for the cost. It is a 4-week live training class where we'll go super deep on the phrasing, the tonality, the exact scripts for just sold, just listed, pending, buyer need, open house, all that good stuff. But more importantly, we'll role play with you so that you can actually role play with Greg, both as, at learning the script, but then once you learn the script, you'll get to role play with Greg, where Greg is the consumer and you're the agent, so that he can give you real feedback on your tone, your phrasing, and the way that you're really coming across to people without realizing it. Because I think that's where agents get tripped up a lot, is they just genuinely, they don't know how they're coming across to other people. And that's one of the most valuable things that I've noticed about the class that I think people have taken away from it, is just they'll deliver the script and they think that they're doing it the way that you're doing. They, in their head, they think, oh, I'm sounding like Greg, like I'm doing, the fluctuations and the intonations and stuff like that. They have no idea that they're actually talking like this.
Very, very flatlined, and it really kills the tone. So Shelly, thank you for reiterating what Michael asked. Do I use BombBomb? I do not use BombBomb. The only reason why I don't, I think the back end of BombBomb is antiquated and it's clunky and is a pain in the ass to use. I've used it for our company and it could be so much more simple. So no, I don't do it. If you guys want to reach out and talk to clients or prospective clients with ease and at a completely zero cost basis, guys, Facebook Messenger can do 15-second videos or a minute audio, reaching out directly to people, doing follow-up with people. If you want to do video at no cost, very personalized, I recommend doing something like that. That establishes, a reason why to get them on Facebook. And number two, an opportunity to follow up, $0 out. BombBomb is a little bit more on the pricey side if you're just starting to go. But follow me, guys, on Facebook. I see Sandra, thank you for following me. Janelle, thanks for following me, and the 5 others, which I can't see because Facebook doesn't let me see who follows me. And then you guys get alerted. I'm going to be going live at around 4:30, doing some follow-up around a property on Jolie Lane in Walnut Creek for a elderly client of ours. I was successfully able to get an off-the-market property that my client, that with the young baby girl, is going to probably be putting an offer in next week on, when the gentleman comes back from seeing his niece's, going to his niece's birthday. So nice. Follow me there, and you guys will see all this cool stuff.
That's right. And follow me on Facebook. I'm very easy to find. It is Pursuing Results. And make sure to follow the show. Subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, and or YouTube if you want the audio or video versions. Guys, we are looking at upgrading and doing some cool things to our website. That is McDanielRealEstateSystems.com. So if you guys have any suggestions, anything that you'd like to see us do, we're thinking about putting together some free video courses out of our older content that you guys, if you've been following the show for the last 6 months or 12 months, you probably haven't even seen some of the amazing content we put out in the first few months of the show, where we pretty much gave a whole ton of stuff away, and it was way more in depth than we do now because we didn't have as much live interaction going on. It was much more of a webinar style. So we've got some amazing stuff that's just kind of buried essentially in our YouTube channel or in the archives of the show that most of you guys have never heard.
Just don't go watch our very first show. It is painful.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. If you're an introvert, go watch it. If you are anything but an introvert, stay away far away, because I was having one bad hell of a hair day for like months. It was horrible. I don't know
Wait a minute, you're having a bad hair day for months?
Bad hair day, well, bad hairstyle choice for months. I was I thought that looked good. But all you guys remember, message me if you guys have any quick questions or thoughts. That's why I say follow me, because you can message me then. If you got a thought, theory, or concern, if I don't get back to you right away, I'll get back to you as fast as I can, because I'm booked out for the McDaniel Challenge until April of 2018. So I can't do any more of those calls, but I can do quick one-offs when I'm driving in the car or if I'm walking somewhere. So message me, guys. Stay up with me. Follow me. Not creepy with a trench coat on. But Matt accepts those types of people following him.
Oh, really? Well, fortunately for you, Greg, I am a hermit and I don't leave my house, so there's not a lot of physically following me that's going on.
Yes, but you are changing houses soon, and this is exciting.
Yes,
so there will be new locations. So all the present stalkers, sorry guys, his address is going to change.
I'm out. That's right.
Peace out, weirdos.
All right, guys. We've got a really great episode coming up on Friday because we've got a couple of guys that they are out of the East Coast. I think they're in South Carolina. We're talking about taking your mindset from fear to courage. Cool. These are guys that have built a $40 million team in 1 year. One of the business partners was offered to run like sales teams for big corporate clients. Instead, he went and partnered up with a guy, and they're on track to do like 450 deals combined this coming year, if all goes well in 2017. So we're going to interview them on Friday on how they got there. That's 11 a.m. Pacific. So guys, join us for that. Awesome. Until then, guys, we appreciate you watching, sharing the show. Thanks for telling people about it. Tell your broker, tell your team leader. We'd like to get out and do a little bit more speaking. We don't have a ton of open slots, but if you would like to have us into your brokerage, especially if you are on the West Coast, those are the easiest places for us to get to, where me and Greg can drive or fly in for a day and just spend a half day or something like that, talking about high-tech, high-touch prospecting, circle call, blogging, Facebook Live video. So whatever your brokerage might need for prospecting and lead generation, we can deliver an excellent workshop on that. So just hit us up for that.
Also, April 27th, guys, Matt and I are going to be together with Brian Casella in San Diego speaking at the San Diego Association. So if you guys are in or around, come attend, come find us. That's the only day you can stalk us.
We got a booth there too. That's right. Yes, that's right. It's the only day you can stalk us. Come stop by. If you're anywhere in SoCal, come to the San Diego Association of Realtors Expo is what it is. It's on April 27th. We are speaking and we have a booth. So either way, you should be able to catch us with Brian Casella.
It's going to be awesome, guys. All right. We love you to absolute pieces. We want to see you succeed more than you honestly know. That's why we do the show. So follow us and everything else. Guys, Matt, peace outy, ninja. We're gone. Bye.
Peace out, ninja.